Hello, 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 everybody. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the comment section, please. Oh my God, I am traumatized from my last time coming up online. Welcome to Isabella Bank's YouTube channel. It is so great to be here with you once again. I am Wheezy, and it's a pleasure to be here with you this evening. How is everyone doing? How are you doing? How are you coping? How are you feeling? What's going on where you're at? If you're anything like the UK, the firecrackers are continuously going off over here. Uh, this time it's all about Prince Harry. Yep. The first thing we're going to talk about is Prince Harry because we are expecting tomorrow's going to be the Judgment Day. When I say Judgment Day, I'm not talking about Judgment Day for the royals. No, it's Prince Harry is expected to find out the outcome of his security case tomorrow. So fingers crossed, guys. Honestly, the man just wants safe passage when he visits his homeland. You would have thought that that would not be a difficult thing. But hello, here we are right now, still talking about such a simple thing. Honestly. Uh, and you can be sure that the British media have already pre-written 15 or 20 or even 500 hit pieces to accompany the news of whether he wins the case or he loses. If he wins the case, they're going to say it's favoritism. If he loses, they're going to say, see, karma. So it's win. But I am praying really hard that they surprise us for the first time and actually give him what they know to be the right thing, which is his security. Obviously, he's not gonna to soothe their egos, they're not going to be able to get him what he asked for. But some semblance of what it should be, I think, may be in order in this case. But we're going to have to sleep and wake up before we know the news. So, oh my God, fingers crossed. I can just imagine what it's like in the Sussex household while they're waiting for this news. And just to spice things up, guess whose birthday is tomorrow? If you guessed Princess Charlotte, you would be correct, which means no matter what Harry does, the UK press is going to accuse him of overshadowing her big day. I mean, we all know Meghan could sneeze in Montecito and they would say it's an act of rebellion against the Queen's great grandchild. Oh my God. You ever notice how the British tabloids treats birthdays like national holidays, but only when the Sussexes aren't around to ruin them? And then Charlotte turns 9, and suddenly it's Harry's fault that she was overshadowed on her birthday. At this point, all Megan needs to do is to post something on her Instagram page and it will overshadow Charlotte anyway. So I don't know why are they not used to this already? Like, can you cover the sun? You can't. So this is should not be one of the things that they keep talking about in the British media. But oh my God, these people do not have any rhyme or reason. So I guess we're going to have to just put up with the fact that they don't have any sense and they keep acting like they don't have any sense. Anyway, switching gears for a quick moment. Have you guys heard about this controversy about Meghan's emails? Like, I don't I think we should have a game, and the game should be to guess what Meghan can do that would not generate controversy. If she walks across the road, they would say she has done something. If she's just sitting there, they would say she looks. Are we sure that is Meghan? She looks inauthentic. Like there is literally nothing that Meghan can do that would not generate any kind of criticism. So I can understand the reason why Meghan is just like, you know what, F it. I just want to live my life and I'm going to live my life the way think fit. Um, so they are generating controversy around the fact that Meghan said in her latest podcast in episode that she sends emails to her kids, which she will give to them which she will give she will give them access to at a future date. This is supposed to be a cute time capsule kind of tradition passed down from generation to generation in their family, but somehow they have managed to turn it into a thing. So the Ranger sat down with a calculator and figured that she might send Archie and Lily 4,000 emails by the time they get to the age of 18. And they're screaming, oh my God, this is too much. I mean, for goodness sake, no wonder they say that the UK is one of the most miserable places on the planet because their reaction to everything and their rationale behind their reaction just tells you the reason why these people over here are so unhappy. Even if their outrage is forced, but the excuses they give just tells you how their mind works. And sometimes, I can understand the reason why, a lot of people just feel like just reading their commentary is harmful for their mental health. I think I kind of feel that sometimes without even realizing it because honestly, it's exhausting. I don't know how Meghan does it. I don't know how Harry and Meghan do it. I suppose Meghan has told us that she doesn't look at her messages that often, and in that way she's able to preserve her mental health. And Harry might even also be doing the same thing in the same way. But goodness me, can you imagine? No, guys, let's take a step back because we've been used to listening to these stories for day in, day out. But just imagine it was yourself. Anything you do, even if it is just getting up from your seat to go to the front of your property, there might where a photographer might be lurking and happens to take a photograph of you will be interpreted as something. There's never a time when they just have nothing to say or they are neutral. No, it's always something. Even the most wonderful thing, how can you find something wrong with a mother who wants to create memories for her children? One. Two, how can you find something wrong with a mother who wants to make sure that she keeps a record of the narrative of exactly what happened between herself and the royal family for her children to access when they come of age so that they know exactly what the situation is and they're not caught off guard? How can you find something wrong with a mother who wants to safeguard her children? Like Harry lost his mom when he was 12 years old. I'm sure he would have loved to have some messages from Princess Diana, right? But he didn't. And Harry and Meghan look like they have looked at everybody who has come before them and they're saying to themselves, I am going to learn a lesson from each person. So, looking at Princess Diana, if she had had some kind of diary or something that was just meant for Harry, which he could access in his own time, it would have helped him a great deal. when he was trying to deal with his grief. It would have helped him a lot. Although he could see and access her voice, but not in a way that was pre planned, her telling him or explaining certain things to him so that he would know exactly what was happening in the life of Princess Diana, especially around the issues that are controversial, which he might not have her direct information. Um, he would not have information from her directly to clarify the situation, because I'm sure that at a certain point in his life it'd be difficult to even believe anything. Everybody is lying, protecting their own interests. So having something directly from your parent definitely would have definitely served to clarify a lot of issues. It would have helped Prince Harry resolve his grief a lot quicker. Anyway, we all know what it's about. It's nothing to do with um, them actually having a problem with it. It's just something to stress Meghan about. I mean, someone even tweeted, imagine turning 18 and being handed 4,000 emails. As I said, I would be like, damn, mom, thank you so much. Because I'm sure that it will include an explanation of perhaps conflicts that occurred, which I didn't understand at the time, which may have shaped my narrative, which could have, left a lingering sense of unease in myself. Anyway, every child gets a baby book. Archie and Lily are going to get Royal Chronicles. And if you think about it, these emails are going to be Pulitzer worthy memoirs one day, you know? I think it's a great thing Megan is doing, and whoever gave her that, whoever inspired her to do this is amazing. Uh, but you know what happened? The comments under that tweet did not turn out the way the person who posted the tweet anticipated, because the comment section of that tweet was brutal. Let's look at some of the comments together, shall we? So Queen R says, I now understand why the British are considered some of the most miserable people on earth. Thank God Harry made a decision to raise his kids in USA. The last thing he wants is for them to be as miserable as you all when you see parents expressing love for their kids. Jojo says, I would treasure it and read it one every day until I read every single one of them. Me too. And Prince Max says, sis, do you know what's crazy with you royalists? It's Meghan says or does anything, you criticize her. And months later, the working royals copy her idea, and which is absolutely true. I'm sure that we are going to be seeing something indicating that Kate also sends her kids emails. In a few weeks and months, we're going to hear Katie sending emails to her children. Your bitch is so forgetful and hypocrite. And this person said, my father died 30 years ago, and I wish I could hear his voice. I read all the letters he sent me when I was at boarding school and later on. I cherish reading the postcards he sent from around the world. What Meghan is doing for her children is priceless. And I'm sure part of the thing that is bothering them is that they are not going to have access to this information. In fact, if Kerry is not taking this email that Meghan has, might be one of the most haunted electronic email addresses ever. Anyway, I'm sure they won't find it because who's going to tell them? And one of my favorite people on Twitter, Father Jack, says, you know, there are so many vicious attacks on this woman. Maybe she just wants her kids to know the truth with videos. That's what I just said. If those attacks cause some loon to unalive her, attacked for living loving momentous. I find it's always ones with dodgy pasts themselves that have the most to say. And the last one from Snarky Guy. Uh effing tweet. Do you think her husband hadn't wished he could hear, read an audio email of his mother he lost at 12 years old. You know, the mother your fellow cohort in the media chased through a tunnel. I see why you are no longer relevant, but M has gained you the most attention in your life. Honestly, they tore this person who wrote that tweet to shreds, absolute shreds. And it was such a joy to see. He was not expecting that at all. He was not expecting that at all. Before we continue, do your girl a solid. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell. If you love a little truth with your tea, and don't forget to ding that bell because the Palace PR machine does not sleep, and neither do we. Okay, we are trying to get to 10K subs before the end of this year. At this point, should we put it? And it is going very slowly. So if you have been listening and you just forgot to hit the subscribe button, this is your sign to hit the subscribe button. Get me up there so that we can do the work that we are required to do. And before the January case comes up, anyway, you know what? I almost dropped my tea when I saw this headline. I was like, what? And you might be saying, what are you talking about? It's this headline: British vilification of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, has reached parody levels. And I thought someone hacked their CMS. Is this eye paper? My eyes must be deceiving me. What is going on? I read through the article and honestly, I was so shocked because it was so honest that I had to check who owned the paper. This is one of the British mainstream media, should I say, subsidiary papers. So I wanted to see who owns the paper. And shock at quelle surprise, it was. Do you guys know that iPaper is owned by the Daily Mail? They bought the paper for 49 point almost 50 million a few years ago. Think about that. The Daily Mail, through one of their subsidiaries, is writing something positive about Meghan. I did not trust that. But I want to share an excerpt of the paper with you so that you can see the reason why this article caught my attention. Hold on, let's get it up, shall we? Let's get it up. All right, so uh, let's get this article up. All right, cool. So it says Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, gave a friend some jam and ice cream and signed the card HRH, and people have lost their minds again. It all kicked off after the Duchess appeared on a podcast with her pal Jamie Kern-Lima, a neighbor and former CEO of It Cosmetics, and offered up a few polite tidbits about parenting and ambitious. It was uneventful, soft-focused stuff, and yet somehow this was treated like a declaration of war on the crown. During the interview, an image was shown of said jam, ice cream, and card, which Meghan had signed HRH, the Duchess of Sussex. She was accused of dancing on the grave of the royal family, of reigniting tension for a cancer stricken king, all because Meghan referred to herself as HRH in a note to a friend. Really? This is beyond parody at this point. The British press and a vocal chunk of the public have developed a visceral, sticky hatred for this woman that no longer makes sense. So everything in the article makes so much sense. And it's so truthful that I had to take a look at who owned the article, who owned the newspaper again, because I was absolutely shocked that there are any mainstream media um, platforms that are willing to be truthful about what's going on um, with Meghan right now. Now, I, suspicious as I am of their motives, I don't know whether they're just testing public opinion to see whether it's okay to start writing positive articles about Meghan. I don't know, but it just seems off to me. Or maybe they're just, seasoning the smear campaign with one drop of balance to stay legal. Either way, uh, yes, there's something really off going on. And for those people who might see the article and think, "Do you know what, these people have changed, the narrative is changing, they have turned a corner," I am here to tell you that I don't believe that in the slightest bit. They have taken my trash and thrown it in the bin, so I no longer trust them. Either way, let's not be fooled just because we think, "Oh, this newspaper has written something positive." This paper is owned by the Daily Mail. So, for any of those people who might be sharing or giving the article engagement, this I have discussed what they have written in the article, so you don't need to do that any longer. Okay, guys. That's all I have for you this evening. Don't forget to before I sign off, let me look at your comments. Uh Julie says, "My unfortunate experience is that the Brits are just miserable people." Can we say some British people? Because I'm British and I'm not miserable. I'm British. I laugh all the time, even at things, so much so that I even annoy some of the people who listen to me. And I have a great sense of humor, and my heart is very loving. So, can we say some people? Yep. Dee Dee says Diana last voice tapes are owned by Mortons, not her sons. They own very little of Diana. The palace are going to be auctioning Diana's belongings soon. Why can't Harry have them? Because William, even if those things were going to be auctioned for free, just out of spite, William will not allow Harry to have them. Just out of spite. Hi, Zubaida. How are you? Going to ask my daughter to write letters to her son now, especially now he is still young. I think it's a great idea, and I think it's a great idea for grandparents as well. Like just anybody who you think would benefit from your experience in life, I think is going to be a great beneficiary, should I say, of such an exercise, of a commitment to that. And let me see. Zubaida says they've not only lost their minds, they're pulling their hair too. Whatever is left of their hair, most of them are bald, even the women. Dawn says bitter, bitter, bitter. Lorna says, "Sorry, but I agree with other squaddies. Charles and William broke the Sandringham agreement, which never included Meghan not using her HRH with friends. So all bets are off." Yeah, I also, you don't need to apologize. I agree with you as well. The, I think that they broke the Sandringham agreement in so many ways, taking away their property, taking away their security, so many ways. But the thing is, regardless of whether it's the thing of looking, how much power do you have to fight against this monolith? And I think that Harry and Meghan are just doing their best to avoid conflict and controversy so that they can grow in quiet until they're able to actually fight back. I don't disagree with her using the name, but if it will give her more peace and get people to stop talking about things like this, then maybe it's beneficial to her to stop using it. Whatever she can cope with, I am okay with. To me, I feel like there's no big deal. It doesn't add to Megan, it doesn't take away from her either. She married into the family. She's still married into the family, whether they like it or not. And that makes her, and all that comes with it. And the HRH is all that comes with it. And for the amount of pain that she has been through, she is entitled to any benefit that comes with being a member of that family. So, but I'm just talking about her peace of mind. Whatever she is happy to do, I am happy for her to do it as well. I agree with that. Uh, Agnes Collier says, I don't believe any of that. Oh, what do you mean? uh, Julie says you can't be British. But I am. I'm very, at the core, I think I am very British, but I come from so many different places, but yeah, British. British here. uh, Agnes Collier, what do you mean? Explain. Explain. You have an opportunity. There are 305 people online with us right now. Please go ahead to hit that like button. If you have not yet subscribed before, go ahead, subscribe. And I'll take one more comment before I head out. Prudence says, quick shout out to you, Wizzy, and Squaddies in the chat. Blessed night to all. Blessed night to all. One love. Shalom. 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 Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here with me this evening. It's been a pleasure to hang out with you. That's all I have for this evening. As I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye now. Bye.